Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Dungeons, Dragons, and Space Shuttles. So, since last episode, I have done a bit of work. First up, I have started adding in this with some chisels and bits. It's not done. I just started doing it, and then I got sidetracked and never got back over here. But I also did start putting some stuff down here at long last. We have ingots down through here, and we have kind of gems and that sort of thing, and then back here there's a whole lot of nothing. But this floor I basically just started on because I got sidetracked by something. Of course. If we pop over here, though, this is what kind of sidetracked me from a lot of my other projects. Just something that I had started working on. If we head over, of course the roadway is going to continue on in this direction. If we head down through here and down here, I still have to add the stairs and everything. I did make an architect's saw bench, and I started working on this little area here. And this is actually going to lead down to our mine as well as some other stuff. And this mine is actually going to be visible. It's going to be kind of cut open a little bit to some extent out here, so you can actually see down in it, because I want to do kind of like little cranes and stuff, like it's pulling up resources from down inside the mine. So. But anyways, if we head down here, it's very unfinished. But there's different layers, so like this one, I can build, you know, a mine that, or a mining section that, where I mine at Y40. And then if I continue on down, we have one right down here at Y20, just where it kind of stops off, and then it continues on down to Y10. So, that's what I've got so far. And I still got a lot of work to do. Up here for the ceiling, I mean, this is mostly all sandstone. Actually, this is pretty much all sandstone. We have smooth sandstone where it kind of makes the pathway, or I'm sorry, it's just standard sandstone, and then standard sandstone stairs, and standard sandstone right through there. And then right here we have chiseled sandstone, and this is actually, I'd be this one right here, twisted. But what I did is basically, it's nothing elaborate. You know, we are going to be doing some little tiles on camera. This is not really fancy. I did the, right now it's set to box because I was doing the ceiling. But right here I set this to slice. And then sandstone, and then this. And have it set to this, it's 30, 72, 112. For the coloring. So now we kind of have this, like, really, I don't know, I think it's a pretty color, and I think it goes good with the sandstone to kind of contrast against it, because it is primarily sand, well, like I said, it's all sandstone, just part of it's dyed sandstone. So the build in itself, very, very cheap, which is kind of suited for a mine, but I think it'll look really good once we're done. And I'm using torches for lighting. This is like the cheapest. This is like the cheapest build, but it did take a little while, but it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. So, anyways, let's head on back. And that's, like I said, that's what I've been working on for most of my time since last episode. But, anyways, today what we're going to be doing, we're going to be continuing on with our power system. Well, sort of. Not really power. Power's not really the theme of today's episode. What we're going to be working on today is we're going to make a couple machines, for starters, like the sawmill and the alloy smelter, that we're going to be putting to use. Okay, and I've actually got to pull this stuff out. I've got more red alloy smelting up, but I need to make some bronze. So we'll go ahead and get that running. And then I'm also going to need the 10K coolant cells. There's so many horses. Like, they are literally taking over. Like, I was going to work on making some of the animal pens and stuff, but then I started work on the mine and got sidetracked. So, it was a whole lot of sidetrack. Of course, my time was kind of spotty. Since last episode, I actually need to get some gold running. I totally forgot to bring that with me. But, my time was a little bit spotty between this episode and last one. And that's because it's kind of like the first day of spring, you know, where we've kind of got just really warm weather. We want to be outside, and it's like consistently warm weather, and the winds, well, the wind was kind of blowing. But anyways, I kind of hung outside a bit this weekend and kind of enjoyed the weather a bit. So Okay, let me grab this. I did a little bit of mining. 18 gold ore is not that bad. I felt like I found a lot, but 18, but that's not too bad. Oh, and I did complete one quest since the last episode, and that is this quest right here for the mineral essence. We did complete that, and then they want us to get 16 pieces of mineral wood. So we'll get that here in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and grab that. There's silicon plates. I'll throw that back in there. I've actually got some bronze plates back over here. I had them for something else that I was working on. I can't remember what it was. But I didn't want to use those because I've actually got iron plates too, but that's for generators. But I didn't want to use the bronze plates because then I'll end up needing it for something that I'm working on. Oh yeah, I was making that too. Because we had a mixed metal ingot from something. And I wanted to throw that into here. Actually, I guess I should make 2 of these. Now that I think about it. Because, yeah, I think I should make 2 of them. Because I'm going to want them for sticks as well. Okay, quest complete coolant cells. I don't even know what that's to. Oh, right here. So we get a water cell, 4 snowballs, uncommon loot bag, and a silver coin. Okay. Throw that into there. It should get pulled out. Awesome. Okay, so there is all of our stuff for our 2 pulverizers. Basically just a lot of crafting. It's not really all that, or sawmills, not pulverizers. Not really all that expensive. And then in addition, another thing that I want to go ahead and grab, and I'm just going to cut while I work on some of this stuff. I don't think any of it's terribly expensive. I want to get 2 alloy smelters. And this actually crafts 2 heat conductors at the same time. It's all pretty straightforward. Just a whole lot of silicon, furnaces, chests, coolant cells. These are just like that with some super glue. They're not terribly expensive. So I'll be back here in just a bit once I get these alloy smelters ready to go. Okay, I think I've got everything together. So there is our 2 heat conductors. And then there's alloy smelter and... Oh! Whoops. I forgot to make... Okay, 1 second. And what's sad is I had gotten all that gold, you know? And I pretty much burned through all of that today. Like, I have 11 left. That's okay. I don't think I'm ever going to get ahead on gold. Because every time I build it up, like, the worst thing was these. You know, taking 12 of my gold. Very, very swiftly. There we go. There's 2 alloy smelters. Okay, so we've got 2 alloy smelters, 2 sawmills, and we'll go ahead and start with this stuff. And then I know I'm going to need to make some crafters as well, but we'll figure out what we need here in just a moment. So let's go ahead and pop on over. And first up, one of these alloy smelters is actually going to go just right up here. This is for our personal use. And I want to try this out. So if we throw in iron and redstone. Whoa, this thing is a power hog. This thing is just eating power as fast as it can get power. Of course, this thing is limited on how much it can output. So if we pop right through here. Yeah, it's only 1,000 RF per tick that it can move. So we really need to see about upgrading this. So we can pump out more power. But if we take a look here, I mean, it's starting to actually drain through some of these, which is good to see because we're actually using power now, whereas we weren't really before. So, okay, and then what I want to do is I want to set up, that's going to be for here in a minute, but our sawmills, let's go ahead and, actually thinking about, actually before we do those, let me think here. Our sawmills, we can just set these up like, let's see, there'd be a wall there. We'd have a wall here where it kind of insets. I don't know if I want to, wow, we actually have 64 stacks of red coal, 64 stacks of, we have 64 of everything except apples at the moment. Awesome. Okay. Well, I tell you what, let me go make some insulated gold cable. Let me make a import bus, or I mean an import node, or maybe a couple import nodes. Yeah, let me go make just some stuff. I'll be right back. Okay, so I got 2 inputs, 2 outputs, and 16 insulated gold cable. And I literally have 0 gold to my name. Like, making those 2 input routing nodes was it. That was it for me. So, anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just run some gold cable over. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to set up a sawmill that sets here. And then we're going to have a sawmill that sets... we're going to put a block right there. And then we're going to have a sawmill that sets right there. And that way it's kind of out of the way from the stairs that go through here. And then we're going to go ahead and just clear our configurations on these. And I've got to run this insulated gold cable. Oh, please don't run out of gold. If I run out of gold, I'm going to have to go mining because I really don't have any other option at the moment. Okay, actually, I want to move this forward by 1. Because I intended for... Oh, wait. Before I do that... Okay, I don't have my wrench on me. I actually think we're going to end up with just enough. That wasn't really why I moved it, but... I do think we're going to end up with just enough. I'm going to need more of them, though, because I've got other machines that are going to need power. But anyways, our sawmills are now plugged up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say that you can input... Actually, you can output through the bottom. You can output through the top. And we're going to have an input routing node that sets right here. It's going to pull items from these 2 sawmills. And I'm not going to plug that one up just yet. And then we're going to have, you can input from there, you can input from there, and we're going to put output routing nodes here. And I actually need, well, actually, I wonder, I don't think saplings and stuff can even go into it. So it may not even be that important that... Let's see, that's the output routing node. I need this one. This one plugs into the input. Yeah. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and just plug into there. That one's going to plug into that. And, okay, we can make saplings into pulped biomass. Okay, so I'm going to have to... which I guess we'll use that stuff. I'm just going to let it run for right now and let it build up that pulp biomass. Eventually we'll add another sawmill and make pulp biomass down here. Which really we could make grassoline and stuff with that. But I'm going to have to go get a couple filters. I'm just going to get precise item filters. Those will work. We're going to need some frame parts. Okay, that's not too bad. Alright, so I'll be back here in just a second. Okay, I got some frame parts made, and we're going to go ahead and get ourselves our precise item filters. I'm going to go ahead and make 5. I don't need 5 right now, but we will later. And let's go ahead and grab some wood. And we're going to say this is the south side. Let's say south side is going to have a precise filter, and it's going to send in oak wood. And then if we pull this stuff out, there we go. We've got some oak wood now. And I'm going to go ahead and slot this pulped biomass because we are going to, later on we will use this. Just not right now. And then we're going to put in sawdust. Oh, whoops. What's going on here? There we go. And there we go. Where did these bronze plates? Oh, I've been carrying them. That's right, because I made them earlier. I'm like confusing myself. And what this is going to do, it's going to cut down our oak wood into oak wood planks. Go ahead and grab some of that. And we'll dump it into there. And then we're going to take these oak wood planks, and they're going to get sent up to here. And we're going to have a filter on the south side. And it's going to send in oak wood planks. And then we'll just grab out that stuff. There we go. And it's going to cut it down into... No, that's not what I want to do. Can it not do... Does it not do sticks? Is that not a thing? No, we'll have to make those, looks like, through the manufactory. Okay. That's fine. We can actually craft one of these. So I'm going to leave this as saplings then. And we'll say south side is going to send in saplings. We'll go ahead and do that. Because I don't really need slabs. And I'm not in any rush to get the manufactory because we're still going to have you know, the wood right here, and I can easily, I mean, I could saw it. I'm probably just going to craft it, you know, as is. And then later on, we'll add a manufactory. So that should be fine. And then what we need to do is we have to grab this connection and just plug it in to where our output node is, which is that one. Comes over right there. And then we should see this stuff should start getting pulled out. And it's getting dumped into the drawer system. So if we pop over here, there we go. That's working. Perfect. And that kind of gives us some use to the oak saplings and the wood for now. And a little bit more products being made. And then another thing I would like to do is we've got our alloy smelter right here. I'm going to go ahead and set up... Let's see... I mean, technically I could put just a crafter here that pumps down into the alloy smelter. I could do that. No, I don't want to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to put an input node right there. We're going to set it up pretty much identical. Output node sits right there. And we're going to say that this one is going to accept from the left-hand side, and then... Oops. This side's going to input from the left-hand side. So both of these are going to input through the left-hand side. And then right here, the output's going to go out the top. There we go. And that should be good, I think. And what we're going to do... let's pop over... Well, actually, before we... Let me go ahead and grab 9 charcoal. We do that, we get a charcoal block, and I'm going to tell it that, let's see, it's going to have a precise filter on the south side, and we're going to say keep, we'll say keep 32 charcoal blocks in here, and I'm also going to tell it to keep, oh, well, this is where I need the sand. Because of because the thing is, well, let's go ahead and set up this side of things. The sand side of things, technically I could just plug a node up and just move it over, or I could even do another liquid starlight setup over there that produces sand that goes directly into making silicon. But since I'm wanting to use carts a bit within this series, we're actually going to have a cart that picks up silicon from this building and sends it over to that building. That way we kind of have some interaction between our buildings without it just being nodes. You know, I want to kind of deviate from just using nodes and kind of make it a little bit more interesting. But for now, I'm just going to grab like a stack of sand so we can see it run and everything and be like, yay, look at that. But I need to make a crafter. And we have a couple options, but the analog crafter, mechanical crafter, these have been made a little bit more expensive to where, honestly, the crafter tier 1 is cheaper. Of course, it does require some power, whereas these don't require power. But that's not really an issue. Well, I guess it's debatable which one's cheaper, but, well, I'm going to need gold for that. Can I make any of these without gold? I can make this one without gold. Yeah, let's do that. So we're going to need 8 silicon. I've actually got this here. And we are going to expand on this to where we have silicon bowls, we have silicon plates. All that stuff's going to be made and just kept on hand. But that alloy, the red alloy plates over here are done. I did look at those and it was like, oh yeah, they're done. But it is a whole lot faster making them through the alloy smelter. But of course, we do need to upgrade power transfer because it's kind of a limiting factor at the moment. I also need to speed this thing up because it's bad slow. Let's actually take a look at the upgrade kits. I've looked at them before and I can't remember what they take. Oh, liquid crystalline. Technically, we could do it. Actually, wouldn't be that bad. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. And I think I can use rubies for it. Right? I'm going to need 16 because I'm going to make 2 of these for right now. Yeah. Okay, so 16 of those. And then we're going to need 8 Invar plates. Or no, we're going to need 16 Invar plates. Which I'm actually getting low on iron. But I've got some iron right here. I'm going to go ahead and grab that because I need to start getting it processed. I'm also going to need to get 4 copper gears, 4 red alloy ingots, and then basic control circuits. Okay, give me just a second. I'm going to get this stuff crafted up, and I'll be back here in just a moment. Okay, I think I've got everything. So the breaker switch, there's that. And then we can get our analog. Oh, I got to go over there and get those silicon plates. Over here, I've got everything laid out. And we got to dump in our liquid crystalline. And then we can get our 2 hardened upgrade kits. So, yay. And I'm just going to grab this and take it with me. So, let's just pop over here. The upgrade kits, they're going to allow these thermal machines and the energy cell to store more energy. And the machines will get faster because of it. So, I'm going to go ahead and apply that to the compactor. And you can see now it can store, I guess it was 20,000 RF, I think. And now it can store 30,000 RF. And then if we pop down here, we'll apply that. And now you can see it can send 4,000 RF per tick. So it's 4 times faster just with that one upgrade. And instead of being able to store 1 million RF, it can now store 4 million RF. So, yay. And then we'll go ahead and we should be able to get our analog crafter. There we go. And this is kicking away. How much of this stuff do we got? We have 7.5 stacks of pulp biomass, 7.5 stacks of sawdust, almost 45 stacks of oak wood planks. Yeah, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to put this right here, the analog crafter, and we're going to say sticky spread items, and we're going to put charcoal in like that. Okay, so it's going to spread it out. It's going to craft blocks of charcoal for us. And there's an output routing node there, input routing node there. What we're going to do is we're going to take these charcoal blocks and we're just going to feed them over to here. And then we're going to tell this, we've got output routing node here. We're going to say, oh, well, we actually already said charcoal 32, and then we're going to say sand keep 32. That'll come into play later, because right now, you know, we can't do anything about the sand just yet. And then we're going to put our charcoal blocks in there. Let's see, let me eat something. Actually, I think that's going to work, because we could put like machine there and kind of have it like crisscrossed, and that way our input and output nodes kind of crisscross along, because this is going to be like a walled section. Then we'll probably have another walled section opposite it, and then probably one through here that's going to have a lot of automation type stuff. And then what we can do is we can take our node, and we're going to go ahead and bind input node to input node and output node to output node. Okay, so you can see charcoal's going into here rather quickly. It's making charcoal blocks. These should be getting pulled out. But you can see that this is getting this is getting stuff. It's trying to craft. It's just we don't quite have the power output. Doesn't look like. Um, we need more generators basically, because this thing looks as though it will just eat power like crazy. That's fine. Plus, it's running sawmills and all these other things. But there we go. We have 6 sandy coal compound. This is still not pulling out the charcoal, which, let me think here. It would be this node here. It's really trying. But you can see it's making 18, or it's making 6 sandy coal compound per craft. And then, of course, each one of these makes a silicon bull. Which is wonderful. And then what I can do is I can take this. What I'm actually probably going to do is do like... Yeah, I'm going to wait to send those items over because I think what I'm going to do is do like a 1x2 drawer and have like charcoal, sandy coal compound, silicon bull, silicon plate, and blah, blah, and so on and so forth. And then what we're going to do is we're going to automate melting it down so we have, you know, a tank somewhere that's filled up with liquid silicon, always on hand, because we're going to need a lot of that when it comes to making all these cables that we're going to need. But now this is an issue that we're going to have to resolve. So I think what we're going to do is, that's the output node, that's the input node. And I'm not really sure unless it just won't, this was, oh, you know what? I put block of coal in there, I guess. And not block of charcoal somehow. Oh, I know what it was. Because I crafted together some coal earlier, I think. There we go. Now it's working. Okay, so it's pulling in the blocks of charcoal. And then... well, that's a charcoal block. Block of charcoal. What mod is this from? Because I must have crafted this. That's the mechanism one. And we're making the one from chisel. With this. Okay, that's where the issue was then. Okay, so we're going to switch this. So that's, no, sorry. That's keep 32. And we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, awesome. So that is now working correctly. And this is nomming through charcoal. I'm going to say redstone on. I'm going to stop that from running because I'm going to end up splitting this so we have like charcoal, and I need to go make some more drawers. I've just got to remember what I've got those drawers made of, because I cannot recall. It's soapstone and something. Is it gabbro? Maybe it's gabbro. Okay, but this is working. I just need to supply it with sand. Okay. We're not going to do that this episode. We're going to do it here soon. Very, very soon. So, but now I kind of feel like I need to upgrade the power production with more and better generators, because we have very efficient power, and we can make it, of course, we can make it more efficient, but I need a lot more like power per tick coming in. Okay, so I need drawers. Give me 1 second here. Okay, I've got some drawers here, and let's go ahead. Let me just pull this up, and I'm gonna pull that up. We'll go ahead and throw down these 3. That should be plenty, I think. And then I'm going to go ahead and just put those down like that. And we're going to have this these blocks of raw charcoal in that. And then I'm going to try something. I don't know if this is going to work with the input there. But what we're going to try and do here, if I grab that, and I was to put on the downside, you're going to have a filter, charcoal, and then up here, upside, this should work, I think. Okay, right here, I'm going to say the downside, sandy coal compound. Okay, so charcoal is going to get pumped in there. Stop sending charcoal. Okay, you're supposed to be sending sandy coal compound in the top. And then we should be able to pull the stuff out right there. So if I take this sandy coal compound now, and we slot it right there, it should get pulled out. It's going into the inferium furnace, and it's getting smelted up. And we're getting silicon bulls. Actually, I don't need to send red coal instead. I don't know why I'm sending charcoal. So just send red coal. There we go. Haha. Okay, so it's smelting that up and it's making silicon bulls, and then we can slot silicon bulls right there. And we should see, hopefully, I think normally coal goes in the back, doesn't it? And then stuff's pulled out the bottom on these. So this actually might not work like that. I might need a different kind of furnace. Which actually, I wonder if the iron furnace, if it could... Because I'd just as well run it off of red coal directly, because we've pretty much got all we can use of that stuff. I'd just as well run it directly off of that, if I can, because, you know, it's not really a big deal. And it's gonna back up, and we're gonna have so much silicon we don't know what to do with. Let me go make an iron furnace real quick. Just a regular iron furnace from Tech Reborn. Okay, there's our iron furnace. And we'll try this. I was really hoping that the mystical agriculture ones would work because, you know, they're more efficient, but that's okay. But regardless, we're getting lots of silicon bulls, so that's good. Let's go ahead and grab all that. No. And we'll just put that down right there. And we're going to say you input from the bottom. You input from the top, and then you output this left side here. And that should be good, I think. How much red coal do I have? Okay. Okay, so if I put this sandy coal compound into there, okay, the iron furnace is starting to run. And then we should see the silicon bulls. Yeah, they get pulled out. Perfect. So we've got 30. And then there's 31. And so on. Okay, and it's going to build up 32 stacks of the stuff. Awesome. And then what we'll do is we'll probably set up a sawmill to break this stuff down. Because I've got to make another sawmill between episodes. But if you break this down with a sawmill, there's a 20% chance that you're going to get tiny dry rubber from this. So might as well. Plus we get 8 silicon. And the sawmills, they are a little bit involved to craft, but it's really not that bad. And then we're also going to want to melt this stuff down as well, which I'm probably going to use a magma crucible for that, which is pretty standard craft. Let's see, and then we'll also need a compactor to make the plates. So we'll have, basically from this little line here, we've got the pulp biomass, the sawdust, the oak wood planks, which are now backed up, the blocks of charcoal, the sandy coal compound, silicon bulls, silicon, which we don't actually have that set up yet. It's going to be a sawmill. And then we're also going to have silicon plates, tiny dry rubber, and then we'll do sticks and treated wood planks. We need to do that as well. So basically, we're steadily adding a lot of things that we use a lot of. Okay, I know it's about wrapping up point for this episode. Between this episode and next, I am going to craft up a couple machines. I'm also going to run some tracks because we need to get our automatic sand, or sand being automatically sent over here from the other building. I'm going to grab 6 stacks of red coal. And one thing I want to do before we end out this episode, so that we'll have it for next episode, because we're going to start setting up some more Steve's carts next episodes. I've actually got some pieces in here. It's very, very simple. It's just a standard haul coal engine, a seat so that we can ride in it, and 4 internal storages. But let's go ahead and throw in our red coal. Oh, can I not use... I can't use red coal. Let's see, assemble. No! I'm going to have to use actual charcoal. That's not a problem. I'm going to go ahead and just dump that into there. It'll get pulled out at some point. Okay. There is that. Okay, so that's going to start assembling. You can see it's only going to take 21 minutes. But we'll have this for next episode, and we'll go ahead and start setting up some item transfer from that building over to here. I don't know if we'll have much going vice versa. Nothing really comes to mind, because the stuff that's stored down here is going to be stored down here, you know. And so we'll kind of have like a little storage building over there and over here. And this is going to be all just like... Because the factory is actually going to have a lot of stuff stored in it that's all being like mass produced. But yeah, now I'm also going to try to get another compactor made and some stuff like that. Because I'd like to get silicone plates, the tiny piles of rubber, of course from the sawmill, and... which actually the tiny... Oh, let's see... All this sawdust, in fact. Go ahead and grab that. We're actually going to put the sawdust into here. And then we're going to have the tiny piles of rubber in here as well. And the reason being is... Do that. The reason being is because I'm going to want to put just one void upgrade on this. And it's going to void any excess sawdust, any excess tiny piles of rubber. Of course, we're also going to take that rubber and we're going to process it into sheets and stuff like that. But... I have a feeling this wall is going to fill up pretty quick. So I want to use some of these 1x2s, ideally. Because we're also going to add chests and some things like that to this. Anyways, like I said, I know it's wrapping up point 4 of this episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button. And go ahead and subscribe if you're not already. To stay updated with when new videos come out. Next episode, we have quite a bit to cover. So I'm going to try to get some things set up and ready for us beforehand, like tracks and stuff like that, and that way hopefully we can get quite a bit knocked out next episode, because we do have quite a bit to do. So anyways, I hope you guys join me for that. Until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys then.